Welcome to Wembley Stadium, virtual Wembley Stadium. This is Tenacious Earl on Tabletop Baseball Plus, and we have a cup semifinal to witness here. We're going to play it out. We're going to sim it on the tabletop, and we're going to use APBA Soccer as our engine for doing this. And I still, I'm going to play the whole game sometimes, so I like to set up some things ahead of time. Sometimes I get to the point where I forget to kind of do my setup first. So I've done that here, kind of get things rolling with the video, and I don't do all my prelim work. So first I want to apologize for a little bit of that. So I'm just leaving this here for now, but we will get right to it very shortly as once I get done with a couple of little minor points I need to set up here. But so it's Manchester City and Liverpool, two teams that are no stranger to success. Although I will say this was probably the year before Liverpool really came into being. Manchester City was a pretty good team for, this is probably their sixth or seventh year of success. 2010, 2011, I believe, was the first time they had won the league, the Premier League, in quite a while. Well, the Premier League, I think, ever, because if they had won the top division before, it would have been just when it was called the First Division. So, in any regard, they are here, and they're the number 3 seed after the group stages. Again, just to preface what this was, people who are familiar with the Premier League will know that normally what you do is you have 20 teams and you play out the whole season, double round robin, 38 games. So you play your 19 opponents, once at home, once on the road. My decision to do this project, a lot of times what I like to do with my projects is to try to find a shortened version that also gives a relatively accurate presentation of how the season went. And I think with this, we did a pretty good job. That's not what I want, but I'll get there in just a second. So if I come over here to the playoff brackets, there are a couple of teams that squeezed in here, sort of like Cinderella's. AFC Bournemouth actually made it to the semis and lost, as we saw here on an upload that I made a few days ago. Tottenham Hotspur beat them. But you've got some teams here in what amounts to the top 10, such as Huddersfield Town, Bournemouth, Watford as well, that are slightly surprising. Maybe a good bit surprising. But what it's come down to now is that we're getting to the finals. There's Tottenham in the final, and there's going to be either Manchester City or Liverpool in the other half of the final. And the team that may have been a surprise that didn't end up getting very far was could have been Chelsea, but and some would argue Manchester United as well. So, but here we are, and we are in the second semi right here, and we're going to come here to the desktop, or the bench top here, and see if we can get this game a-rolling. And, I took out all my stuff except for one very, 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 very important thing. I also want to apologize for the camera moving a lot. I really need to change my setup and try to get this mounted to the wall, because I hate the fact that I constantly bump it. And if I have it supported to something different than my table here, I think that will be very helpful. I used to have it supported on a shelving unit, It's off to the side, but that was because I was using a very long piece of apparatus, which I could extend over here. The mount that I have right now is not that way, so I'm going to have to use a piece of board and, like I said, mount it to some framing that I have in this room in order to make this more sturdy so it's not just jiggling around anytime I, bump the table like that. It also is made a little bit more flimsy because my camera mount itself got a little dinged up along the way. So it's just the way it goes when you have a hobby and you don't have oodles and oodles of money to spend that. But I was going to say one of the most important things I forgot were the fast action cards, which is how we play this game pretty quickly. All right, so I ate some salt and vinegar chips just as a little bit of conversation while I am shuffling. And I don't know if any of you are big fans of salt and vinegar, but I will tell you when it comes to that. And hang on, while I don't have that up. Oh, Philip Reynolds' game is just gonna get started here pretty soon. I don't know if it's just me, but I get this really weird mouthfeel a day or so after, where it just, it's like zapped my tongue and my mouth. It's kind of like blanched it or whatever, and so that's kind of what I'm getting right now. I'm kind of have this where I don't feel like I'm talking particularly crisply. I feel like I've kind of got a term that I don't know if it actually applies now, but like cotton mouth. So if I'm a little in the way it sounds like I'm talking, I apologize for that, but probably should think twice before eating those. Okay, so we're gonna get started here with the game. And so this is the Manchester City screen. Just a second here. I'm going to toss up here the webcam so you can kind of see I'm going to flip cards. The other thing I need to look at here is down at the bottom. I don't think we have it. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, it's because I did this. I want to look at the screen here. We only have discipline from the last game. Otamendi got a yellow, but it will not affect his participation in this game. So we just need to make sure with both teams. We can look at Liverpool here as well. There's no suspensions. Usually I put suspensions here on the right. There are a couple of guys that need to watch out if they get into Emre Can and Trent Alexander-Arnold. If they were to pick up another yellow in this game, they would miss the final if they make it. So, but what I need to do is I need to flip a card here. If it's above 36, it's 33. So Manchester City can use its full strength squad if it so chooses. They don't need to make any changes. Usually, if it's above, if it's a 41 or above, then most of the time they have to make some kind of change, unless the player that is then selected by the random cards, if that player is used in a second, I got to throw on a little bit of fan in here because it's kind of warm in this region. If they played in greater than 90% of their games, then they would not have to be subbed. So that's kind of the way I'm working this. So I am going to use what I believe to be their top setup here. So let me just double check. We got Sterling, De Bruyne, Agero, Silva, Sonny. Fernandinho is not in that. Otamendi, Walker, yes. Delph, yes. Company, yes. So we need to get Gundogan and Fernandinho will be on the bench. So I'm showing you the setup through the end here. So you know, you're gonna have to bear with me. This is gonna be probably 2.5 hours. So I know it'll have its and again, the way we do this, I have a tough time showing you much off to this direction. But you take the card and the offensive number and you line them up from highest offensive number to lowest, and that's your 1 to 11. But the goalkeeper is always the last. But I don't think that he ever has an offensive number greater than 0. So, all right. So I'll see if I can twist this. What I can do is maybe like this. Take a look. Yeah, you can see it here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is Sterling. He has the highest number, than De Bruyne, Agero, and whatnot. All right. So, and I'll do the same thing for Liverpool, but I need to write these names down, so bear with me for a second. So it's, yeah, the weather is nice. I'll tell you, I'm just hoping that there is some success with the phased openings that are happening around the country. We really want to see people be safe and all that stuff. But it's just really tough to accept this for as long as we have to go on with all of these alternative measures. You know, it's pretty tough. And you know, in addition to that, you know, it's understandable to feel that way, because you know, it is deadly. But anyway, I don't really want to get too much into it. Just kind of speaking what's on my mind, and you know how it is. So you have to take their positions and write them here on the sheet, and we have to calculate and see if they're at 21. If on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So that is going to keep them at their normal rating. I still haven't looked those things up. So, and then these ratings, I'm going to try and do these as quickly as I can. Again, this is the type of thing that, you know, is definitely helps you in the long run. As far as like when you do these calculations, you basically come up with a ranking based on the numbers themselves, the highest first and then down to the lowest. But so you know, if you feel after the fact, if you're watching this after the fact, if you feel led to, oh boy, and I just made a mistake there. Let's do, we're going to say 6A. Actually, we'll make it 5A. I don't want to change all of these guys. So 8, 9, and then we need, let's put 10 and 11. Okay, now it's just these like foul suffered, foul committed ratings take some time. So let me just look at the chat here and see if anybody else. I saw Philip Reynolds. Hey, long broadcast. 20. You have the 2019 soccer set FVC Cincinnati. Haven't played it yet. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't. I don't have I don't have the MLS for this. I do have an MLS set for Soccer Blast. I just haven't really touched it much whatsoever. But, all right, so Sterling, I think, is first. And then Dahveed Silva is second. And then from there, it's 3, 4, 5. Okay, now the assist ratings. 1, 2. Like I said, if if you're watching this after the fact, if I was doing this offline, I would cut a lot of this stuff out, but I'm not. So, whoops, what did I do here? I think this would be 6. And Delph is 7, 8. And then the injury, well, I'm not going to calculate those. Forget about that. It comes up very rarely, and I'll just do the math if we run into it. So now Liverpool, let's switch it over to their page. And 23, so good. We didn't. I would rather not have to use subs for either team. Like, if I have to use it for one, I'd want to use one for both. The fact that we don't need a sub for either team for fitness reasons is great. So we're going to use the full strength side for both teams, and we will see how this makes out. Now, I got to double check here and see. Salah, Firmino, Mane, Wijnaldum, Can, Van Dijk, Henderson, Gomez, yes. Robertson, yes. Matip, yes. Karius, yes. Very good. Put the subs up here on my little shelf and put the inactives back in the envelope. And now, again, we're going to just go ahead and line them up by offensive number order. Firmino and Mane. I think Firmino is usually he's usually the central guy, so I put him ahead of Mane. Then Wijnaldum, Can, Van Dijk, Henderson, Gomez, Robertson, Matip, and Karius. So we're not too far away from playing this game out. So yeah, let's talk about soccer and why I have gotten into it over the years, and et cetera, et cetera. I really, we used to play in high school. Obviously, I didn't play for the high school team, but in gym class and all that kind of stuff. And occasionally we'd get a soccer ball out and kick it around, but not the most gifted or agile person in the world. So in college, one of my roommates was a soccer referee and played soccer in high school and stuff. And so in sophomore year, we shared a room, and I brought my TV, and I believe it was the first year, possibly the second year. So this would have been the fall of 1993, the fall of that year, we roomed together. And I think it was maybe Saturday morning, he would put on, there'd be a Premier League game. Or maybe it was the next day. Maybe it was Sunday. It was like the replay from the day before or something. Because, it was this country soccer. That was one of the most desperate times for soccer in this country. Yes, the World Cup was around. Like, there was some buzz being generated about that, because it was either going to be, I think it was going to be held in the U.S. the next time around. So, so there was that. So but the TV coverage was like nothing. The cable channels just weren't that numerous at that point. We didn't have as much satellite, and so he was trying to tell me about this whole other league, this whole other type of sport. Not the sport, like I knew soccer, but it's the league set up completely different than anything else in this country. It's like I said about the schedule. You play everybody twice, and you don't have a playoffs. It's rather unique to Europe. It's not unique to Europe. It's kind of the way the rest of the world does it, but for American sports, it's very unique. So, so back then, I was kind of like, I don't understand this. It's, I'm in college. I got other things I need to do. Got classes. I was also heavily invested in radio. I was in the sciences, but I was an amateur radio guy, and got involved in some of the leadership of the radio station on campus. So, I didn't really have a whole lot of time for the soccer at that point. So then, many, many years go by. I end up sharing a lab with a guy who was a soccer player in high school and in college, and he kept saying, you should watch the World Cup. He's never been a league guy, but he was always an international soccer guy, which that's another thing about the way soccer is set up that's really strange, is that there's, or again, maybe it's that the American sports are the strange things, because in a lot of other sports, there's both club and country, rugby being one, and others. So, I was like, okay, well, I finally got to 2010, and he kind of like talked me into, it wasn't like we went anywhere and watched a game after work or anything like that, because this was South Africa. They were a little bit ahead of us. Actually, it was probably the 6 hours that Europe is. But on I think a Saturday afternoon, I was watching. I think it was either the second game or the third game. Might have been the third game. U.S. was playing Ghana. I think the second game, I saw the score that I think they had maybe drawn Slovenia or something. So then I was watching that, and that was Landon Donovan and scoring the decisive goal in like stoppage time, and I was just like, I'm in, man. This is great. And then they had I forget who they played the next. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. I'm like, okay, I want to see what this league stuff's about. So then I had to wait almost 2 months for the Premier League to start up. It was like middle of August when the league starts up in Britain, and from there I watched it intensely, got interested in tactics. There was a site that asked for people to write articles for them, and I started writing some articles and just got involved in everything. And so that was kind of like, and so I spent probably 3 or 4 years really invested in and doing things like podcasts and writing and all that stuff. It was great. And then I just, the scene kind of like bogged me down. So I still like soccer. This past season, I was watching it more like around the turn of the year, like the Christmas break and into, the FA Cup and stuff like that. But anyway, I got off track talking about myself, and I probably need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. But in any regard, that's kind of why I have, now again, I sort of took a break from the sport in a way, because again, it was like this country, anybody who's watching over in Britain, I mean, and there's politics in, I'm sure, in the FA over there and stuff, but I mean, this country, it's pretty bad. You've got you've got a league in MLS that is closed. Over in just about any other country, if you buy a team at the lower level and you build them up and they play well, you can get to the top. There's no buy-in necessary. Like you just, I mean, you got to buy in. You got to be good to get there. But once you get there, it's all for it. I mean, so. But you know, in this country, there's some aspects of it that can be frustrating. There's a salary cap, but some teams have more money available than others, and you know, you just kind of wear on the political aspects of it. That it's kind of always going to be the younger brother of all of the other leagues. So if you're cool with that, and I mean, for the most part, I am. I'm fine with watching MLS. You know, you just have to have a good view, and you have to realize that MLS so the MLS level of play is not going to be near what you get in the Premier League, and then you also have to be wary of the fact that when you listen to guys that work for MLS, they're going to tell you that MLS is almost there. You know, it's like, oh, and you're going to hear all these rumors about guys getting sold to big teams in Europe, and then they don't, and it's just, you know, I'm sure it's that way all over, but you know, it's just, okay, we're not going to do the injuries for either team. If they come up, we'll calculate them on the fly. But my point is, you know, you have to be willing to be like resilient to the fact that the soccer media in this country is kind of like, it's actually a lot like the political media. It's like two sides, and neither side really likes each other that much. And the actual deal is somewhere in the middle. If you can remember that, then watching MLS is fine. You can see lots of good goals. You see some play that's not so pretty at times. The officiating can infuriate you, which is just like any other sport. Okay, so, but that's kind of my story. It's been an evolution, and I still like it, and probably if they get back to it this fall, which I assume they will at some point. Now, okay, so my team ratings, you have to get those. I'm using the away rating for both teams since this is a neutral site. So the away rating, the team rating is 5 for Manchester City. The defense rating will be 4, and the clutch points will be 10. The winners of the league. And then Liverpool will be 3, and 6. So that's how I've kind of justified the home field, or whatever you want to call it, home pitch advantage. There isn't really any. Both teams have their home supporters. I actually considered using both teams as the home team in these things, in these knockouts, but I'm going to just go ahead and fill out the rest of the sheet while I'm at it. So we're going to get to the action here very, very, very shortly now. What I'd like to do is be able to recommend to people at some point, maybe in the comments, where they can fast forward to if they want to get right to the action. And then I'll probably forget to put it in the comments, so or in the description. But okay, 4. That was right before. So the team defenses are 4 and 3. Manchester City's team defense is 4. Liverpool's is 3. The team ratings are 5 and 3. So that means that anything at 52 or above on the loose ball chart goes Manchester City's way. Okay, so we're going to do the basically the coin flip here, if you will. And 25 means that City will win the coin toss. They will go ahead and take the side of the pitch they want to start on, and Liverpool will be the first to kick off here in this semifinal game. So I'm going to get a drink, and then we're going to go. All this talking has made me thirsty. Beautiful day for some footy in old London town. Wembley Stadium, Manchester City, Liverpool. See who will face the Spurs in the final. Okay, and let's come to this page here, and I'm going to put the score up here for you all so you can see it. Hopefully I remember when we get a change in the score, I'll change it up there. Last but not least, get back to the comments. Do I take a break between halves? I'm probably going to have to take a little break, so probably just try and tally up some statistics real quick so I have an idea where things have gone. Kickoff for Liverpool will go to Zone D, and it'll be Van Dijk in Zone D. So again, just as sort of a, so I have the zone ratings down there. I'm going to give you the visual of what the zones look like before we get any further. So as you can see, when we say Zone D, we're talking maybe 30 yards from goal. And you get Zone X, which is like right around the stripe or in their own end. And you got F, that's just a little farther, and just at like, you know, where the circle comes around there is in Zone F. Then you have E, and then D, and then C is over in the corner. B is between 18 and, let's say, 25 yards out from goal. And Area A includes the penalty area. It's a little larger than the penalty area. If we get a foul in Zone A, there isn't a second roll to determine whether or not it is a penalty. So you can see Van Dijk there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roll this, and it's the 2 dice, and it's 25. So when it's a 25, I look over here and it says 39, and so then we look in. Another thing I didn't get quite ready, but we're going to play both of these teams. So we're going to play Liverpool. We'll play both of these teams at 4-4-2, I guess. I was tempted to go 4-3-3 with Liverpool, which just means attacking, but I'm going to do them both in kind of the feel it out phase right now. Kind of nerves right at the moment. It's a big game, big cup semi. They don't want to get caught out right off the bat. So we're going to look at the 4-4-2. And again, 39 in Zone D, that's going to lead to a defensive check. So then we roll the dice, and we look on the chart. 16. Now, Manchester City is rated team defense of 4. We look at 16 on 4, and that is the corner kick roll. So, Liverpool, it gets blocked, and it goes out over the goal line off of Liverpool, or off of Manchester City, and that means that it will be a corner kick for Liverpool. And another thing we need to do is check our takers for the corner kicks, and it'll be Mo Salah. He'll also take free kicks for Liverpool, and it will be Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. So it's going to be a corner kick taken by Mo Salah early in the match here. And so he's a B rated. It's going to be a pass to B. Player 6, that's Van Dijk again. Actually, no, it's not player 6. There's another chart for the corner kick that keeps it into the more attacking players. So 56 is player 4. So that'll be Wijnaldum. the Dutch, excuse me, the Dutch international. So Wijnaldum in B, 52 is 21 in B. So that will be a pass to Mo Salah in B. 53 is 14 in B, which is going to be a pass. It's actually basically be a dribble into A by Salah. So he's going to have a chance possibly. Can he get a roll here that gets him a shot? 43. No, that is 43 in A. That'll be a, it's going to be get blocked and be in the head. It's going to be up where it's a head. So basically a loose ball. Who wins the header? And it will be Manchester City. So that is taken over in Zone X by Otamendi. Okay, so take another drink here. So 4th minute. No shots as of yet. Liverpool got the ball and advanced it into the area, but couldn't get a shot away. Otamendi in X, 65 leads to 29, and that will be a defensive check. So Liverpool being a 3. You look at 42. That is a header to E, which will be won by Manchester City and retained, so they keep it in Zone E. And that'll be player 6, which is Gundogan. 65, another one. 24, though, a little different number off of his card. That's going to be, he's going to get the ball back in E. So same player, 45. That's a 28 in E. That will be a pass to Walker, Kyle Walker in F, the outside back. City keeps control. 51 in F is 40. So that'll be a defensive header, loose ball check, retained by Manchester City. It'll be E8. So Walker again in E. 51 again, 40, the same check. It'll be a header to E. 23, it was going to be retained again. So again, we mentioned this on the loose ball chart. Anything 51 or lower is going to go Manchester City's way. So they get another 23. So again in E, this time it'll be Dahveed Silva, player 4. So a 13 is 22 in E. So he will retain it in E. 21, that's a 35 in E. That'll be a defensive check. Man, they can't get any doubles right there. So let's see. The defensive check. Steal to A by Liverpool. There you go. That's a direct steal, the 11. There is a double, so it'll be A 10. Wow. So it's going to be Matip in A. Somehow he is going to get from the back line into the attacking zone. And a 31 in A is going to be a pass to Mane in D. Mane, 45 is 34 in D. It'll be a defensive check. Just can't get the cards to come up in the right spot. So 26 for a 4-rated team is going to be a steal to E. And that'll also be player 10. So Vincent Kompany in E, 52, 25 in E. That'll be E7. Otamendi in E, 54. That's a special result. So I got to get out my book because I do not have a chart, a quick chart for my special results. 62, out of bounds, throw in from area X. And it's got like a time wasting thing. It's okay. So Otamendi misses his pass. It goes into touch. So that'll be a Liverpool throw in. And it says zone X, so we'll just go right to X9. So it'll be Andrew Robertson in X15. It's a good number if it's on an attacking player, but well, it will actually be a header to F. Check the loose ball chart and they will lose it. So Manchester City gets it X5. Leroy Sonny, 42 in X. So 24, that'll be X9. That'll be Fabian Delph who will be with that at his feet there. 31 in X is going to be a defensive check for Liverpool on the 3, and that is going to be a steal to C with the 15. So that is a good roll for them. C6, so it'll be Virgil van Dijk. 43, 24 in C, that's a D1. So Salah in D. 46, he is fouled. So that will be committed by player 2 from Manchester City, and that will be Raheem Sterling. And no card. So that will be a free kick from Zone D for Salah. It's going to end up in B. 8. So that'll be Joe Gomez in B. 41, and B is 41. Defensive check. So getting a lot of strong defense here. Blocked to D by Manchester City, but it will be retained by Liverpool this time. So D 9. That's Robertson. 32 is 23 in D. Okay, that'll be a pass to Van Dijk into D. 31 to 38 is going to be a defensive check. 12 is a steal to A for Manchester City. A2, 22, that would have been a good shot roll there. So it'll be De Bruyne in A. 36 is 37 in A. That's going to be a defensive check. See, sometimes these cards just end up in a pattern that does not yield much. And just like soccer, there can be some times when the play doesn't yield very much either. All right, 16 for the team with the 3 defensive rating. That's a steal to D. D7. So Jordan Henderson in D. 44. It's not going to be good enough to get him a shot. It's 26 in D. So E5. Emery Can gets that one in zone E. 31. So 43 in E. Out of bounds. All right, 15th minute. So that's a lot of action. 1 foul and no shots. A little bit of back and forth here. In terms of the way we would talk about it here, we would probably say that it's a little bit of a nervy game. Not so many crisp passes, a lot of blocks. Playing some organized soccer here, looking to try and limit chances. So Manchester City will get a throw in the 16th minute. X 7. All right, Otamendi and X 32. See right there, we had a 33. When those rolls come up in the course of throw-ins and corner kicks and things like that, it tends to limit your chances. So Otamendi in X 32 becomes 28 in X. That'll be a defensive chance. 53 for the 3-rated team is going to be header to X, retained. Manchester City would be Delph, player 9. Another double. 36, 26 in X. Again, defensive check. 22 will be a steal to E. And 11. Here we go with, so that'll be player 1 who gets it in E. That's Salah, but, you know, we're spinning off a lot of doubles cards in the trappings here. So 14 is 42 in E. It's a header to X. Needs to be 52 or above, and it is, so they'll retain it. X 10. That'll be Matip. 36, 26. And that's a defensive check. 44, another double header. No, that's a steal straight to X10 for Manchester City. And again, we're in the 66. You know, look at all these doubles that are coming up, and they're not in. It's not off players' cards. 13 for Company. Is 24 in X. That'll be X9. 19th minute, no score. So X9, Delph and X. Just thinking through the. Okay, special result 12. Player dribbles ball between defenders, takes a shot from area B. So Fabian Delph is finally going to get a shot. We're going to have him say B9, and we go shot. You can see my chart here. Shot for Delph. So his number is 25. Now B, you get to add 3, so that makes it up to 32 because we skipped from 26 to 31. Pass was from Company. Doesn't have enough of assist rating to make any impact on the shot number, so we need up to a 32. 11 through 32, and it's 32. That will be on goal. Now we have to look at Karius and see if he is able to stop this. They're not going to use clutch points this time. It's too early in the game, so let's see. 64. That is a save and a rebound to D. So Karius is strong to the challenge of that save. And City will try to collect this, which they do. Another shortcut to tell. A lot of times I'll be looking at the number, but if you see here, the difference is 2. And if you can, I don't know if you guys can see this here, but that's an H. So because they're the higher rated team, Manchester City gets to keep it. So they retain it in D. And it will be Sterling who has it in D. 21 is 30 in D. That'll be a defensive check. 15 is steal to B1. That's another 11. Salah in B, 65. 25 in B is C2. Roberto Firmino in C, 52. And he commits a foul. So suffered by player 4. That'll be Sergio Agero. I don't think he's touched the ball yet. Maybe he has. He probably has, and I just get in the zone. Free kick to X. So this will be De Bruyne taking it. B2. He gets it back in zone B. This is just outside the area. 40 in B is going to be a defensive check. So 62. Blocked E. That's lost because it's over 50. It's 52 or over. So X7. Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. 66 in X is going to be a pass to B1. Good pass there from Henderson. Salah opening things up a little bit. 22. That will be a shot in B for Mo Salah. Now, he does have a good shot on goal rating. It is 35. Add 3 in zone B. That brings it up to 42. Henderson does not have a good assist rating, but it's 51, so that means it is off target, and it will lead to a goalkeeper outlet by Ederson. So partially blocked. Ederson grabs it, and he's going to get the play started the other way. Goalkeeper outlet F8. 24th minute, no score. Manchester City. It's going to be Kyle Walker in F. 31. 36 in F is going to be a defensive check for Liverpool. 61. That is blocked E. And they're going to retain it. Manchester City is. E8. All right, so we're at the 25th minute. We're going to have to take a break here just to reshuffle. So a good bit of action, but not a whole lot to show for it. So Now, I talked about liking to have projects that sort of do a low game count simulation of real life. That also means if you've watched my other videos for the project, you've heard me talk about it. Part of me would like to do a relegation scrap of the 4 teams that finished at the bottom, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because I feel like I need to get this game and then the third place game and the championship out of the way, get them completed, and then I can kind of give this game a little bit of a rest and maybe come up with another project, buy another set, and come back a little bit more energized to go for it, because I have other things I want to do as well. I have ongoing projects that get ignored, but see, as you can see at the top there's 0-0. I'm going to do a little bit of a once over there, and we're going to get going back again. So E8, so that'll be Walker in E. 52, 28 in E, that'll be F8. So extended possession there for Walker. 35 in F. 46 in F, that's out of bounds. 26th minute. Get a drink here. So, all right, throw in Liverpool. Let's crank through this half. Throw in D. 8. Gomez in D. 55. It's a double, not in an offensive player, so it'd be 29. F6. Now, on this chart here, you can see that you would be able to see there's a star, an asterisk there. With the asterisk, you can actually choose to try and force the pass to a player of your choice. But with a 4-4-2, it's a 66% success chance. You would roll a single die. If it's 1 through 4, it's a yes. If it's a 5 or 6, it's missed and it goes to the other team in X. It's 4-3-3, it's actually up to 86%. It's 5 out of 6 that works. If we had 4-4, or if we had 4-5-1 as it's listed here, it would be just a half chance. So I still feel like at this point, maybe if a team were behind, we'd try to force that pass, because that was one of them. In this case, we're just going to let it go to Van Dijk in F, and we'll see how it plays out. 15 in F is 32. Defensive check. 24 will be a steal to D for Manchester City. D3. That's going to be Agero with it. Agero in D. 21 is 43 in D. Is going to be a header to E. So, and that will be retained. There's the 11 on an inconsequential roll. E9. So Delph in E. 14. 29 in E is a defensive check. 32, steal to X for Liverpool, X6. So Van Dijk. 44 is 5 in X, which will be a good pass. That'll be a pass to D2. Firmino in D. 11 will be a shot. So gives you the number 2 on his card. So that is in the D range for shots. Roberto Firmino is also a 35. My eyes, it's a little small for the type. 35. No adjustment for D. And no adjustment for Van Dijk. So it's just going to be straight up 35. And he misses the shot. And it's over the net. So that will lead to a goal kick by Ederson of Manchester City. So a wild effort there leads to the goal kick. C5. So Sonny for Manchester City in C. 12 is 36. That'll be a defensive check. 65 blocked X, and that will be lost. So it goes Liverpool X 6. Van Dijk, he's gotten the ball a lot. 45 and X. 34 is going to be defensive check. Manchester City 21. Steal to C 4. Dahveed Silva in C. 36 is 26 in C. That's a pass to Agero in D. Agero 64 is a 13 in D, which is another good pass. That'll be B5. Not as good as some, but it keeps possession. Sonny in B. 62 is 39, and that will be a defensive check. So can't get anything out of that exchange. 56 is a blocked D. Retained. So player 4, Silva, gets it in D. Keep it. 45 is 28 in D. Past E. All right, man. We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna take a little chance here in Manchester City. It's E7 with an asterisk. Let's try to get it to. Let me see. It was E7, so that'd be Otamendi. I don't want to go to him. Let's try to get it to Sonny. So if the first number in this is 1 to 4, and it is, so that'll be E5. Sonny and E 41. 33 and E is going to be a defensive check, so it wouldn't have mattered. And let me see something. 41 for Otamendi would have been 29. That also would have been defensive check, so nothing would have helped. Maybe a different guy. Headed to F. Lost. So Liverpool gets it. X9 will be Robertson, the fullback. 34, and he is offside. So tries to attack. He's not offside, but his pass puts a player offside. 33rd minute, no score. Message retracted. Okay. So that'll be an indirect kick for Manchester City. That goes to C1. So Raheem Sterling in C. 23. That's a foul committed by Sterling. Suffered by player 3 of Liverpool. It's Mo Salah. This is Sterling's second foul committed of the game. And, you know, I think maybe this is in the same. Sometimes you get these ranges where they just come up and repeat. So, free kick X. Free kick X. That'll be zone D5. So, Can and D. 63, that should be another foul committed. And it is. Emery Can, suffered by player 1. That'll be Sterling. So a little bit of payback there. And Can does not draw a card. Free kick in X for City. B2. Two doubles come up on inconsequential rolls there. So De Bruyne now, 65 in B is 22. He retains it in B. Manchester City still has it. 46 is foul suffered by De Bruyne. And committed player 2, which is going to be Emery Can. Another one just in quick succession. It could lead to a card, but it doesn't. So a free kick in B. De Bruyne will take it. Let's see if he gets a shot. He's a 33 rated shot on goal guy, but he does not. This will remain in B6. So that'll be Gundogan in B13. It's going to be 27 in B. C4, Dahveed Silvan C. 51 is 23 in C is C5. That'll be Sonny. 42, 24 in C, D1. So Raheem Sterling in D. We can't get a roll here and we still won't. 46 is going to be out of bounds, I believe. It is. So we had 3 good opportunities, maybe 4 good opportunities for at least a crack on goal, and we cannot find a doubles when we need it. So want some action here. Throw in D3. So Mane, we have Sonny and Mane. So Sadio Mane. We have Sonny. We have Mane. And Mane's name is Sadio Mane. So it's like you've got some really tough things to keep straight here. So in D, it's 14, 34 in D. That is a defensive check. They're rated 4, and that's 32, which will be a steal to E. 5. And that goes to Sonny, if we can keep that straight. 15, 7 in C will be a shot. So finally we get a roll that leads to a crack on goal. Now this is from a ways out. This is going to be a curling effort, but you're going to have to subtract 3, as you can see on the card down there at the bottom, on the bottom left there. So 31, but it's going to go down to 24. And that's off target, as you would hope to expect there. And that's going to be a goalkeeper outlet. 41st minute, no score. Liverpool goalkeeper outlet goes zone X2. Wow. Roberto Firmino deep, coming back deep to get this one. In X22 will be a this will be a good pass. What is it going to be? 4 in X is going to be D1. So Salah and D. 44, that'll be 5 in D, which is going to be a shot. So no adjustment. Although Firmino with an assist rate of 7 is going to get an assist bump. Give an assist bump to Salah. So 42 plus none for the zone. So 42, and that's a 12. It's on target. Ederson, is he going to be up to this one? Can he save it? 25, yes he does. That'll be a rebound to zone C. So let's see if Liverpool can retain it. They do not. So that means Manchester City gets it next. And it'll be Otamendi. 43rd minute, no score. We've had a couple of shots on goal now, a couple of good saves. 56 for Otamendi is 37 in X. That'll be a header to D, so a chance to maybe advance a little bit in the zone here, and they do retain it. D4. Silva again. Can they get a shot away here? 51 is 23 in D. A good pass, but this will end up with Gundogan, who doesn't have a ton of shot chances, but he does get fouled. Committed by player 1. So that'll be Roberto Firmino. It's going to lead to a card this time. Nope. 45th minute. It's going to be a free kick in D. Be De Bruyne taking this one. It'll be collected by City in B, and it'll be B3. So that's Agero. 32, 33 in B. E4. That's to Silva, so that's not such a bad one. We're gonna put 1 minute of stoppage time here. So Silva in E. 43, and he commits a foul. And suffered by Salah. And okay, 11 is a red, and what that means is that Manchester City is going to have to use some clutch points. So one of the things to keep in mind when you play this game is that you definitely, you don't want to use clutch points early unless you get the dreaded 11 on a card check. Because for everybody, that's an automatic red. And in this case, they're going to have to use 5. So what we could do is we could do one of two things. We can use 4 to downgrade it, or we can use 5 clutch points to just turn it, to get rid of the card altogether. I think in this case, we're going to use 4, which will bring it down to 6. And that will just downgrade it to a yellow because Silva does not. All right, let's see. It was player 3? Oh no, it came off of his card. He's not. I mean, he's a foul committed 2, but he doesn't come up that often. So we're gonna make it a yellow, and I'm gonna notate on my sheet here. 4 clutch points used for Manchester City, and that'll be a Liverpool free kick. And some of you may say, well, that seems kind of ginned up. Well, I actually think that the clutch points are a godsend in this way for the game, because I think you would have way too many red cards, and it would make your games a lot less fun. So make sure you remember to use them when you get a red card that comes up in a game. It's also good to save them to the end, because you might be able to use them for either a clutch save, or you can use them to try and, if you're behind, get possession deep in the end of the other team. So this is the second half of this first minute, so we're just going to get the free kick in. Let's see what comes of it. So free kick is going to go to C4 for Liverpool. That'll be Wijnaldum. We will let them get one more roll. It's a 42. That's a 37. It's going to be a defensive check. We're going to say that's good enough. Blows the whistle for halftime. No score, either team. And I like writing stuff down. Okay, so kind of a what do I want to call it? I hate to use the word, but turgid match. Been kind of stuffy at times. Not a lot happening, so it's gonna be. I just have to tally things up here a little bit. I like doing this in the break. So finally, it took to the 19th minute to get a shot from Delph that was on target. And Karius was strong to make that save. Agero with a foul suffered, and Firmino committed. Okay, Salah had a missed shot. Firmino had a missed shot. Okay. Sterling's second foul committed. Then he suffered a foul by the foot of Emre Can. Then Can got another one right away with De Bruyne. Fortunately, the ref is, for the most part, kept the cards in the pocket, but that one big spot where we had the players talked him out of it. Sonny with a missed shot. And Salah with a shot on goal, saved. Committed Silva suffers. Okay, so basically there. Score 0-0. Shots, 2 shots, 1 on target for Manchester City, and 3 shots for Liverpool, only 1 on target. 4 fouls committed by Liverpool, 3 by Manchester City, 1 card for Silva. I'm not going to worry about possession right now, possession numbers. We're just going to get going into the next half. And I'm not going to shuffle them right now. This will help us absolutely get through the second half with only one more shuffle, I think. So let's go with the Manchester City kickoff here in the second half. As we get underway from Wembley, who's going to face Tottenham in the final? So the Citizens kick off. That'll be F2. Who's going to get the first goal here? It'll be De Bruyne in F63. That'll be a foul committed. Suffered by Roberto Firmino. No card, but Liverpool will get a free kick in X. D2. Roberto Firmino in D. 41 in D is going to be header to C. Likelihood this will be won by Manchester City, and it is. So they'll collect it in X with Agero. 38. Header to E. Lost. And it will be Matip in X. Liverpool 16 in X is 34. That'll be a defensive check. Now we do have to shuffle them up, but this will hopefully take us better than halfway through this period. So the question will be, should we move anybody up in attacking fervency here? Because I feel like this shuffle might be the one to just put everything back into a little bit more of a groove where we get more shots. We had a few more shots in the last go-around. Kind of like a natural progression of these cards that they go through periods where they go into, you know, it's the rhythm that you hit the doubles as well as a couple of other card types for especially the guys in the 1 through 4s. All right. Okay, so Liverpool was forced into a defensive check by Manchester City. And that's 42. It'll be a steal to X2. Okay, so De Bruyne in X15. That'll be a good pass. That'll be to Silva in D. 31 is 38 in D is going to be a defensive check. 32. That'll be a steal to X9. Robertson in X. 45. 27 in X is going to be a defensive check. Manchester City. 26. That will be a steal to E. 9. Delph in E is 53. 22 in E is going to be good. That'll be E4. Up to Silva. Zone E. 55. Going to be a 6 in E. Pass to B1. So Raheem Sterling gets it in B. 65. That'll be a foul suffered by Sterling. They're going to get a great chance at maybe taking a crack on goal here. The foul committed by player 7. It'll be Sadio Mane. No card. But Manchester City is going to get a great free kick here in 52nd minute from Zone B. It'll be De Bruyne taking it. But it's not going to get a shot. It's going to be to B6. That'll be Gundogan in B. 52. So 23 in B is B3. Agero in B. 15 in B is going to be a pass to A2. That'll be De Bruyne in A. 43. He commits a foul. Suffered by player 7. That will be Jordan Henderson. And De Bruyne does not get carded. But Liverpool will have a free kick in X. You feel the build and then just a bad roll. When we have a bad roll, what you can think of that is sort of like a heavy touch. So he gets it in A, but he gets a heavy touch on it. It moves away from him, and then he's got to lunge in, and the other player got to the ball first, and the referee had no choice but to blow it down. C1. So Salah will have a chance here. 17 in C. That'll be B1. 62. That's 39 in B. That'll be a defensive check. So it's blocked to X. Lost. X7. Manchester City. It'll be Otamendi in X. 12. Header to F. Retained. And it'll be De Bruyne in F. That'll be 8 in F. Will be D2. De Bruyne in D now. He makes a run. 10 in D is going to be B2. Making a good run here. 51 in B is 9 in B. Will be a shot. So here we go with it. This is the first time I've ever seen a run like this, I feel like. That is pretty interesting right there. You get De Bruyne gets it in F, then his next one's D, next one's B. Whether it's a run, whether you think it's a bunch of wall passes, and he ends up in B, he's going to get a shot off here. So, again, he is 33, but he's in B, so it's going to be up to 36. No pass. And it'll be a shot on goal. Karius needs to save this. It is a 34. It is a 10. That is a goal. Goal. Kevin De Bruyne. Manchester City gets on top 1-0. On a stellar effort. Will there be an assist? It'll be Sonny getting the assist. And in the 57th minute, Manchester City comes out on top. And we will see if they can hang on to this or if Liverpool will start to generate some more offense. And I think they're going to have to go a little more attacking. So a goal. We'll add a minute of stoppage time there. So Liverpool will do the kickoff. D8. Fans not happy with Karius. He's had his share of troubles over the years. 46 will be for Gomez, it is not a foul. It's suffered. 27 in D will be E6. Van Dijk in E. 24 is 28 in E. It'll be F8. Gomez in F. 53 is 43 in E is out of bounds. Well, actually, it's an F, but it's still out of bounds. Okay. Liverpool, they are going to get some help going here. They're going to get Oxlade-Chamberlain warming up. While Manchester City is going to have Fernandinho get off the warm-ups. And, he's going to go run around and then get the warm-ups off and get ready to come in here eventually. So a throw in for Manchester City. E8. So Walker and E. 36. 25 in E is going to be E7. So Otamendi in E. 65 is 29. Is going to be a defensive check. Liverpool, it will be header D. Lost. 64th minute. So lost. So X. 7. Henderson for Liverpool. 51 is 36 in X. That'll be a header to B chance. So this is a great opportunity if they can get this roughly 3-1 or 2-1 chance that goes against them to work out, and it does work out in their favor. So they get it in B. 5, not the greatest. Not an attacking guy so much. 23. And he's going to commit a foul. Suffered by player 11. So that is, we're just going to call it player 10. Since it's so far out of, well, the company who suffers the foul. No cards. So let's do the subs here. So this will take me a moment here to Fernandinho is going to come on, and Dahveed Silva will retreat. Don't necessarily want to go too much into park the bus mode, but no sense in really pushing on hard here. So, he's going to be at 10. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and Gundogan. So, 5A. His assist is 3. So, I mean, he's, he's not necessarily the most, he's not the most defensive player in the world, but he is quite a bit. So this will help them try and shore things up a little bit more. And now Oxlade-Chamberlain. We could have also looked at coming in for who was it? Oh, and Silva also got the yellow card, so another reason to take him out so he doesn't get a second one. Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm going to bring him on for Can. What is this? This is the 62nd minute. 63rd. And just got to do the numbers here. Okay, so Wijnaldum. Same as Roberts. No. Yeah, we'll say 3A. Oh, crap. Put it in the wrong spot. Oh, that must be 9. Okay. All right, we're good now. So Oxlade-Chamberlain is a midfielder as well. He will settle in here right where Can was before. All right, so we're in the 63rd minute. This will be a free kick and X for Manchester City. Liverpool is going to go more attacking. They're going to go to 4-3-3. City will hang on to 4-4-2 for a little while longer. they want to keep pressing a little bit here and see if they can get a second goal. That would really put Liverpool in a bind. So the free kick will be to B2. De Bruyne in B, 56. 44 in B is a header to B. They've got about a 2/3 chance of getting it, but they lose it. So that'll be to X, 10. Matip and X, 36. 26 and X is going to be a defensive check. 22. That's a steal to D3. Agero, Manchester City in D. 15 will be 7 in D. That'll be a shot. See if he can put it on target here. 35. Liverpool, I don't know. I feel like they can't use those clutch points for a save here. I think they've got to hold on to them and hope they can generate offense later. So 35 in D. Not a pass, so it's just going to be a straight up 35. And it's 51. That'll be off target. Leads to the goalkeeper outlet. Karius gets it started. X 10. 66th minute. 1-0 Manchester City. And I forgot to adjust this. My bad with that. So it'll be Matip and X. Right? This wasn't here, right? Yeah, I was right with that. 44, 29 and X will be defensive check. 31, that's going to be a steal to E. 1. Raheem Sterling. 46 in E is going to be a foul suffered. Committed by player 2. I'll be mad at. No card, but Liverpool. Oh no, Manchester City. My bad. They're going to get the free kick in E. De Bruyne taking this. It'll be to B1. The goal scorer, De Bruyne, has it and gets it to Sterling in B. And that will be a shot. Shot in B for Sterling. It's going to add 3, and it comes from De Bruyne, so we're going to add the requisite number, which was going to be, what is that, 5 to it? Yes. So 33 up to 42 plus 3 more is going to be 45, and it's off target. 54 is above 45, so that'll be a goalkeeper outlet again. Karius not having to work there. So that will be to E7. Henderson in E, 64. 21 in E will be a good pass. D5. Up to the new entry there, Oxlade-Chamberlain in D. 32 is 32 in D. That will be a defensive check, so he does not get a good pass off there. Block to X by Manchester City. And it is lost, so that the Citizens will get it in X. X7. Otamendi in X. 16. 43 in X is going to be out of bounds. Liverpool will make a second substitution here. We'll bring on Danny Ings. And he will come on. Let's see how many. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they will have to drop a team rating if we bring Ings on for a midfielder or a defender. So, but I think they have to do that at this point. They're gonna sub him in for Andrew. Actually, for Joe Gomez. So Mane will drop back into the midfield, and Ings will move up into a forward position. And they're going to be in full attack right here. I'm not going to worry. I'll just do the calculations on the fly. So Gomez off. He is rated 2. So Ings will actually go right in there. And that is in the 70th minute. And yes, we do need to drop the team defense rating from 3 to 2. So we are about probably 10 minutes from Manchester City, maybe dropping down to the 4-5-1 tactic. So I just want to hold off doing that until it's too late. X8. Ings and X11. That's a great pass. That's a beat pass to B2. So he already makes his presence felt. Getting it to Firmino. 42 in B is going to be 33. So he will have to retreat a little bit into D. Firmino still has it. 14 is 38 in D, and that will be a defensive check. So nothing going there. Steal to X5. Fernandinho has that in X28. That'll be defensive check. Again with the 2 rating this time, but that will help them. It'll be a steal to D7. I meant the number would help them. Liverpool gets it. Henderson D23. 30 in D is going to be E6. Van Dijk in E. 24 is 28 in E. It'll be X8. Ings in X again. 42 is 42 in X. That'll be a header to X. 74th minute, still 1-0. Manchester City on top. Header to X. 61 for Manchester City. It's going to be a block to D. And lost. So they will take it in X4. Sonny in X25. That's 8 in X. So it'll be D5. Fernandinho in D. 23 in D is a foul committed. Suffered by player 2 in here. Now again, I've kind of, it's a player 2 would be 1 for Mane. It was 4, and then I guess Salah would be number 2 now. And Fernandinho does not get a card. Okay. 75th minute. 1-0 Manchester City. And going to make another change here. They're going to bring off Raheem Sterling. Manchester City. Going to bring on Bernardo Silva. Midfielder. This is the 75th minute. We'll just go on. Let's see, we're going to move Gundogan up here and put Silva down here. We're going to keep on with the 4-4-2 for another 5 minutes or so, and then we will probably try and tool it back some. Thing is, Liverpool will be able to use some clutch points here soon. And let's just do the free kick X. That goes to zone C. And now we will do the shuffle. Could be the final shuffle of this match. Unless we go to extra time. Can Liverpool get this back? Down 1-0. They're pressing on, and here at some point, Manchester City is going to probably try and get a little sterner in the defense and try and button things up a little bit. Solanke is the only other move that Liverpool would probably make here. And since they've already lost their defense rating, they'd probably be inclined, well, they probably would take out another midfielder. Maybe Jordan Henderson would be the choice. City has a couple of defensive. I mean, they could bring in Yaya Toure, who's a little bit of another one of these kind of box to box, or even with a slightly more defensive. I mean, he can attack though. He's definitely has a shot. So you don't want to take him too lightly. But he could also come in and replace maybe well. Yeah, because you could move Agero, or you could move you could move De Bruyne as sort of like a false 9, and have Agero come off, and you could just play without a true forward. So C2, that's Roberto Firmino, and C54 is a special result, 24. If even strength, follow number 23. Ball stolen. It is even strength. Ball stolen by opposition, continue play. So it's a steal. We're going to say to X. 1 for Manchester City. So it'll be De Bruyne in X. 44 will be 5 in X. That is a pass to Agero in D. And let's say, because now that they've established possession, let's say that let's let Liverpool use a clutch point. They're in the 77th minute. They're going to use 1. They're going to actually steal it to D, so they'll go down to 5. So they're going to go steal to D, and we will say Salah in D, because we get to choose when we do that. So here is Salah in D. That's a 33. So here we go with a shot right off the bat. So this is, now Manchester City has clutch points they could use for a save too. So if we want to do that. So again, it's 1-0, but Salah is going to get a shot. He's 35. No adjustments because it's in zone D and it's on target. And they're not going to use their clutch points right yet. Here's Ederson. It's a 25, and it will be a rebound to zone B. So a save made by Ederson, a big one here. As things starting to heat up a little bit. Rebound to, let me double check this, 25. That's a 4. Actually, that's a rebound to C. My bad. Can Liverpool retain it? They need 52 or above. They don't get it, so they will be lost. Zone X, 8. So it'll be Walker in X, 25, 41. That'll be a header to F. And that'll be retained, F, 10. Liverpool is going to use another clutch point. So that's going to be another steal to D, and they'll take it to Salah again. So that makes them down to 4. Trying some tactics here to try and get them equaled up here. And it's going to be another shot. So, again, 35. It's in D, so again, it's on target again. Ederson has to be big enough to make this. This is the card. I just knocked everything out of the way a little bit. 51, and it's another save, this time into rebound into D, so Ederson coming up huge. Rebound to D, and it is retained by Liverpool. D5, so it'll be Oxlade-Chamberlain. 32 and D is 32, and that will be a defensive check. Manchester City with the 42, that's a steal to X. 4. They're hanging on to these clutch points because you just never know when you might need one. So it'll be Fernandinho and X. .43, and he commits a foul. Suffered by player 8. So let's see, 11, 10, 9, 8. So it'll be Ings. No card. Liverpool, they're going to make their last change. And it will be Solanke. And he will come in for... Jordan Henderson. Okay, Manchester City has already brought in their second, correct? Yes, so this is Liverpool's final sub unless it goes to extra time. He's going to be in slot 3, so he's going to go right in here as well. So we've got a couple guys at the back end who can get a shot. If, let's say, they get it in E, they may take a crack at it if they get the right roll. So Liverpool with the free kick in X. And the Manchester City manager is shouting from his technical area to switch to the 4-5-1. Switch to the defense, so it's going to really bring down their shot attempts, but it's also going to bring down Liverpool's as well. Still, if you get something in those doubles area, ranges, then you end up in pretty good shape. So, just this favor. So the 4-3-3 does favor guys like Salah because they've got numbers all the way up to 20. So you could get shots in Zone A on a roll that wouldn't typically get you one for a lot of other guys. So free kick from X for Liverpool. It goes to B6. I think we've only had one corner kick in this game. It's been really weird. So Van Dijk in B, 42 is going to be a header to A. They need it to be 52 or greater. It's 13, so that will be lost. X, 7. Otamendi for Manchester City. 62 is 44 in X, which will be out of bounds. Throw in for Liverpool. X, 9. Robertson in X, 53 is 31 in X, is going to be a defensive check. 15 will be a steal to B for Manchester City. B8 though. Kyle Walker. 85th minute, 1-0, B8. So here comes in zone B to be, guess what? Kyle Walker is going to be able to get a shot with a 66. He has the one on his card there, and everybody has the 1 in the card, pretty much. Only the really non-influential players. So a shot for Walker. He is a 13 rated guy, but he is in B, so that will be helpful. That will bring him up to 16. So it needs to be a low number here. 34, that'll be off target, but okay, it'll be goalkeeper outlet. Liverpool X 9. They're going to use 2 clutch points, and instead of stealing, because Manchester City is playing in the 4-5-1, the need for steals is going to go way down. So they're going to take X, and they're going to instead go with a pass straight to C, and they'll go C1 for Salah in C, and it'll be 11. Guess what? He's going to get another shot. So he's getting shots all over the place here, trying to probe and get one in. And this may force Manchester City to use those clutch points. I hate to use them this early, but this feels like a chance that could. So first you got to find out if it is on target. 35 becomes 36. Robertson does have an assist rating of 5, so that adds 1 more. So that brings it up to 41. 31 that is on target. And City is going to burn 5 of the clutch points to make it an all but assured save. They're going to take it down to 1. So this means that Ederson's card doesn't matter. What this means is it is a, if we roll this here, if it's 11 to 63, it is a save. If it's 64, 65, or 66, it's a goal. So if you don't use these, if it were 64, 65, or 66, Ederson would save all those. But in this case, if it's high, it's a goal, and it would be gutting. Is it going to be under 64? It's 25. That is a save. It would have been a save for Ederson. And so what we will do is we're going to call that a goalkeeper outlet for Manchester City. So Ederson, let me see. Actually, no, the way I'm going to do this is it's going to still go off of his card. They're not going to get the straight goalkeeper outlet. Liverpool will have a chance because the 25 leads to a 4. That is a rebound in C. So Liverpool will have a chance to take this. They need 52 or greater. It's 21, so they lose it. Manchester City will get an X10. So that'll be Company and X. 41 is 43 in X, and that's going to be out of bounds. So see what I'm saying? There's a lot more out of bounds opportunities when you go to 4-5-1. And so the likelihood of them using their clutch points when in possession. So, but here's the skinny now. We've burned Manchester City's clutch points. They can't use 1 for that same opportunity. They could do a steal. I tend not to use steals when the team is ahead because I feel like that's a little disingenuous. I do feel like a save, a clutch save, is something that you would use points on if you were ahead. But now Liverpool has 2 left. Manchester City has 1 left. Liverpool will probably do a pass here at some point. I'm going to try and let play dictate here a little bit. Throw in for Liverpool, 88th minute, 1-0, Manchester City on top. 50, well, not 54. It's going to be throw in. D9, Robertson in D. 64 is a 33 in D. It's going to be a defensive check. Now, again, we may have been wise if we were to have used those clutch points with a guy like Robertson, because if you can get a shot after using it with a guy who has an assist rating, that gives you an extra point, right? So, but if we would have done that this time, it would have led to a non-shot, right? C, 13 is a good one, but I think in C it would just still be a pass to Roberto Firmino in A, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it's not going to be an automatic shot. So, Liverpool. So we got this defensive check for Manchester City. They're rated 4, and it's 41, which is going to lead to a steal to F. 9. So it'll be Delph and F. And if he is able to, if they retain possession off of this one, then we'll use those final clutch, one of the final clutch points here. 31 is 28 in F. That'll be a defensive check. And 32 on the 2 is going to be a steal to X. So they do get possession. X8. Liverpool, so that's Ings. He does not have an assist rating. You know what? We're going to go ahead and use a clutch point. And that will be a pass to D, and we're going to make it D1 again. So 90th minute, it's going to be Salah in D. 20. Wow, every time we've done this, he has gotten a shot away here. So that's a 4. We go to the chart in D, and that is a shot. So Salah again. Again, no assist help here. 35. It's 14. It's on target. They do not have the clutch points now. Ederson, does he make the save? 14. He does not. That is a goal. That is a goal, and it is equalized. And what a what a last-ditch goal effort here from the Reds as Salah cracks it. It gets by the outstretched arm of Ederson, and it is now equalized at 1-1. Assist to, looks like it's going to be unassisted most likely, and it is. So there you go. One-one. 1-1. And we're gonna have 3 minutes of stoppage time here. And Manchester City is gonna kick back up to the 4-4-2. I'll tell you, I haven't had too much luck hanging on to games with 4-5-1. I don't know about anybody else who's a player. If anybody's watching this who plays a lot, give me some feedback. Liverpool, they're gonna stick with that 4-3-3 with a 4-4-2 on the other side there. So they might get burned back, but it looks like we're going to be playing another 30 minutes here potentially. All right, so Manchester City with the kickoff. They do have a substitution they could use, but they're going to hold off doing that. Maybe they'll do that in the break here. And then they get a second one if it goes on. So D1. So that'll be De Bruyne in D. They do have a clutch point left. Oh, and we forgot to subtract one. So both teams have one clutch point left. So hindsight 2020, maybe we should have used it there. Those 5 on the, but you know, you're taking a chance either way. D1. So De Bruyne in D. Can he get a shot here? 42, 35 in D. That will not be. 32 is steal to X, 9. So Robertson and X for Liverpool. 66 will be passed to B1. So a pass to Salah. Can they get one? Could they get another goal here with time? Oh, here's a shot. Here's a shot. Salah. He's going to get another one here, this time in B. So he's going to go from, not only is he going to go from 35 up because of the zone B, but he's also going to get Robertson's assist. So 35 goes up to 36. Then you get 3 more. Up to 43. Is it going to be on target? No, it's off target. So second minute. We're going into the third minute here. What is the result? Corner kick. Liverpool. So a corner kick. It's going to be Salah taking it here. B rating. Pass to A with a shot on goal. So it is on like Donkey Kong here. Who does it go to? Pass to A. 35. That's going to be player 2. That'll be Roberto Firmino. They're going to have a chance to sweep out this final 3 minutes of injury time and possibly take this down. So Roberto Firmino gets a shot. It's automatically on goal because of the way it is worded on this card here. You see this? Pass to A, shot on goal for Firmino. Now we just have to take Ederson, and Manchester City, their fans are clutching to the hope that this card right here lands on something other than a 10 for Ederson. It's a 56. That is a 10. That is a goal, Liverpool. Oh, the Reds, they're celebrating. Oh, what a turn. What a complete turnaround. Goal, Roberto Firmino. Assist to Salah. It is 2-1. Liverpool takes the lead. What is up with this game? What an utter turnaround for the Reds. The Merseyside team comes in here. It looks like they're down. Salah takes the game under his wing, gets the 90th minute goal, and then in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Roberto Firmino cracks it home. Salah will get the assist. It is 2-1 Liverpool. They're going to give Manchester City a minute of stoppage time here. Another minute of stoppage time, because this is just they wasted some time. Well, they didn't waste too much time with the equalizer goal, but then this one they're just mucking it up a little bit here. So here is the kickoff. E7. I mean, City has to settle themselves. They still have a shot here. They're going to use their final clutch point. That's going to go to D, and they're going to get it to Agero, who is their prime guy. Can he get a shot here? Can he get a shot? It is 21. That will not be. That'll be 43 in D. That's a header to D. They need to win this loose ball chance, and they do not. That is lost. It goes to D. It goes to X for Liverpool. The referee's looking at his watch. X3. Liverpool gets it. It'll be Mane. He blows the whistle, and what a finish. 2-1 your final, as the Reds will face Spurs at Wembley for the final of the Crazy Prem Cup. City had it in the bag. They had it in the bag. And some judicious use of the clutch points by Liverpool got Salah some opportunities, and eventually it cashed in. And then in stoppage time here in the second half, it comes back around. There weren't a lot of chances in the first half, but that changed in the second half here. And we're going to wrap it up here, man. Whoa. What a crazy finish. What a crazy finish. I mean, I've had some crazy finishes with this game, and the clutch points certainly add a little bit of kind of a steroid punch to this game in ways. But so Manchester City, they won the league in real life, but as what happens with a cup tie, it can get kind of dicey when you're talking about a one and done match. And here you go. You can complain if you're a City fan and say, man, they went defensive, and a lot of times when you park the bus, it doesn't go right for you. But you remember back there in their first championship season, where it looked like Manchester United was going to win. I think they were down to Queens Park Rangers, City was, and then they came back. And Agero might have been key in that game. But Manchester United was sitting there celebrating. They hadn't quite heard the final, but they knew that City was down to QPR, and I think they were in Sunderland, and they were somewhat celebrating on up there at the Stadium Light. And then all of a sudden they heard that Agero scored a goal. And I don't know, maybe it was just the draw that did it. I can't remember. If anybody wants to leave a comment on, I can look it up afterwards. But I'm going to do my stats. So it's going to be Spurs and Liverpool in the final. Salah and Firmino, the heroes. And Ederson just could not get the saves in the key moments at the end. And so then we're going to do a third place game, and I will probably stream that at some point. I'll probably do these games in the next week. I think I'm going to take a little bit of time here and try and maybe I got something on my mind to do, and sometimes you just get in a place where, like with this game, with this project, I'm close to being done, and I kind of want to power through it. But other times, you just have to say, you know what? If I give it a couple days just to wait, I'll have a little more gusto for it when we get to the final. So I might just go ahead and do the third place game offline, and I'll tell you how it goes, and then come back with the final here in one of these upcoming days, maybe midweek, maybe the end of the week, maybe Memorial Day weekend. Get it sewn up, and we can put a bow tie on this project. Obviously, the relegation stuff still potentially hanging around that we could do, but that's not really much of a necessity. That would just be out of morbid curiosity, more or less. And I think at this point I feel a little less like doing that, because we see, I think if Manchester City had won, and which would have given me even more like of an idea that, hey, this is playing, we played it out and it had the same result. Well, this isn't going to be the same result, but that's okay. But it just makes me think to myself, it's okay not to worry about how it translates with the exact season finish. Let's make sure we're having fun with this and not, going to the extreme, which sometimes I tend to do in my own mind, like with the Phillies replay and then doing the playoffs, which I think definitely was a fun project and stuff. But I also, again, with that one, I think I took a little bit of a layoff before I started jumping into that kind of stuff. So okay, I'm just rambling on here. Thanks for watching this semifinal. Liverpool over Manchester City 2-1, both goals in the late stages, late, leaving it for the end. The fans Merseyside, they're going to have to make the trip back down for the final. And Liverpool, they're going to have a good one here. I don't know. Tottenham has Harry Kane. I don't know. This Liverpool team was good. They made some changes at the halfway point of the season. I think they were too far behind in this one. But, you could see the way they've grown over the years. And this year they were just nearly invincible. They did have some hiccups as things kind of got long in the season. They'd kind of had it wrapped up for a while as far as like the league title. So we'll see if they can win this cup. That would be kind of interesting. That would be very interesting. So, all right, hit like, and hope to see it again here on the channel soon with some more action, whether it be baseball, soccer, football, golf, or who knows? Who knows what might be next? Until then, just keep rolling and enjoying the sports that you put on your tabletop. See you later.